Most of them have what looks like an above ground pool and a black top. That's all water catchment. 10,000 gallons, something like that. And there's filters attached to it, so they've got their own good source for water. Whatever you can do on this island to stay off of the public works grid, whether it's electricity, water, it's well worth the investment to do it. The cost of living out here is quite high. Pardon me? On the west side, those are real popular. And what's really cool about it too, the government incentives are awesome right now. They're paying, I think there's a 50% subsidy right now. They'll pay for 50% of your acquisition fee costs and 50% of your installation fees. And so the house I'm staying in right now, I think our electric bill's 20 bucks a month because we don't use anything during the day. In fact, the meter runs backwards. And then at night, you're not running as much stuff. So it's awesome. But if you weren't, we've got, my fiance's sister lives in a house. It's about, just to give you ballpark what it would cost if you didn't have a solar panel. They've got an 1,800 square foot house. Their electric bill's about $800 a month. It's 45 or 48 cents a kilowatt hour. So the Hawaiian Electric Company is referred to as Helco. But where we're going is straight ahead. It's a spot called the Pu'u'o'o vent. And it's part of the Kilauea volcano. On this island, we've got 5 volcanoes total. And each one has a true center, a main caldera. But the lava doesn't always erupt from that center spot. It's just looking for the easiest way out of the ground. And when it erupts, it forms a pu'u. So if you just look up and down this ridgeline, you're going to see a whole bunch of pu'us. They're all the little mini mountains. They look like mini volcanoes. And again, they're just formed whenever there's volcanic eruption. So this volcano is the newest of the 5. And it's been erupting continuously since 1983. Pushing 30 years. It's the longest known eruption. But that's not really saying much, because they've only been studying it since 1790. So it's a science in its infancy. But for most of this eruption that's been occurring since 83, this Pu'u'o'o vent has been the source. And all that means really is the lava's kind of being funneled through this specific set of, I don't know, plumbing. I really don't know the best way to put it. What's happening, the lava's coming up, and just before it breaks the surface at this vent, it's going into a lava tube, and it's running towards the ocean. So all of this steam that runs downslope is vented gas from that lava tube. Now, mostly it's just steam, but we do have about 30% of it is comprised of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and sulfur dioxide. There's enough of it coming out, it's equivalent to 40 coal power plants. Produces some of the worst smog. I think this is awesome. 10 miles that way is considered the cleanest air in the world. What happens because of the real consistent trade winds that blow out of the northeast, the air at that eastern point of the island hasn't seen land for about 2,500 miles. So it is considered the purest air you're going to get. And it's the benchmark for air globally. 10 miles this way, we've got some of the dirtiest air. And when the winds are right, and it blows this, we call it VOG, volcanic smog, over town, really, really bad. I think that's so funny. Clean air, dirty air. I was mentioning there's a true center in the Kilauea caldera. Just out the right, there's another plume of vented gas coming out. That is where the Kilauea caldera is. It's about 10 miles upslope. We don't really go over there because there's not much lava activity. Most recently in the 60s, it was a pretty big hot spot. But in recent years, it hasn't been.
Aloha kupua, piri ke kino, kapua mili mili, a kapu vai. Aloha kupua, piri ke kino, kapua mili mili.
Now, Jamel, off your side, right along the edge of this Pu'u'o'o vent, you're going to see there's a couple solar panels. The U.S. Geological Survey team comes out here and they power a couple different seismic sensors and cameras. And they keep a pretty close eye on this. Blows up, we got to know. We need to schedule more flights. Is it bad that I laugh at myself? So now, Nancy, we're going to put the Pu'u'o'o vent off your side, and as we come around here, you may see those solar panels as well. It's not uncommon to see people walking up here. What they've been able to do is sort of, I guess, determine whether or not we're entering into very volatile periods. They found that the pressure on this vent, it's similar to a heartbeat. There's periods of expansion and contraction and the pressure that goes along with it. But from time to time, when they think it's safe, they'll come up here. We're just going to follow this lava tube down. And you could walk directly on top of this tube. It would be cool. The lava tubes are tremendous insulators and keep almost all of the 2,000 degree Fahrenheit heat inside. Now that being said, out here the lava's got a very flat, matte color to it. If it's silvery and shiny, I wouldn't go walking on it. In lava there's a lot of silica, and that silica is very, very reflective. So the shinier it is, the newer it is, and the more likely you're not actually on a solid piece of rock, you're approaching what is just a thin crust on top of molten lava. So you'll see about another mile or so, it's going to start, there's patches that are going to start getting real shiny.
Here's Cousin Eve, big one car.
Oh, cool. And you see that hole in the ground with the orange glow right there? I haven't seen that all day. Now, Jamel, right out your left side. You got that? There's a little orange glow there. What that is called a skylight. These skylights, actually, there's some flows in here too.